Okay, so we're started. So welcome to the first ever episode of, I haven't decided what to call it yet, Library Tea or something like that.
Universe, the world, and my precious life. I guess will not stop you from being my wife.
And we want to welcome our very first guest. It's Michele Sloan from the tea shop in town. So, Michele, how excited are you to be here with us?
Very excited. This is a great idea. I love it.
Cool. Well, thank you. So, since this is the first episode, I guess I should probably tell you what we're going to be doing. For the next year, we'll be about once every other week or so releasing a new episode of Library Tea. And where we'll be trying different teas provided by Everything Tea, and we'll get to taste test, and we'll also meet some people in Bedford who are impacting the area as well as impact the library. So very excited to get that started. So today we're going to talk about Everything Tea. So Michele, what all do you have to offer?
Well, our tea shop, we have over 140 different loose leaf teas, tea bags, accessories, teapots.
Cool.
We also do May through September. We do an afternoon high tea. We have a little garden area out in the back where people come in and we do the high teas with finger sandwiches and scones. Right now, you can come in anytime and have a pot of tea and scones. So
cool. So the gag, what we're going to be doing throughout Everything Tea is providing samples of tea for us to try, myself and my guests, because I'm a tea drinker. So we're going to talk about tea this episode, though. Something that I really enjoy drinking. I like to try lots of different stuff, especially there's some really out there ones. So Michele, you want to tell us what we're trying today?
Sure. The first one, this one is our Rosenstiel tea. It is a black tea, and it has hazelnut, chocolate, and cream in it. There's a story behind that. This is actually going to be our 10th anniversary this coming November.
Cool.
So we kind of wanted to kick things off with our Rosenstiel tea because Mr. Rosenstiel was the very first customer through our door 10 years ago. And we created a tea with his name. When he came through our door, the very first customer that we had, he asked us if we could blend a tea for him. And he wanted chocolate, cream, and hazelnut mixed together. And it turned out it was really good.
Cool.
So that became one of our teas way back then, and it's still one of our best sellers today.
Awesome. So this will be fun. So I'm going to let Michele show you how to brew your tea at home, loose leaf, if you're interested in that. So here we'll just start off with whatever.
All right. So first we have our Be Health teapots here, and inside there's an infuser in it. This makes doing your loose tea very, very easy. Some people are afraid of loose tea, thinking that it's a lot of work and a mess, but I will tell you this makes it just as easy as a tea bag does.
Awesome.
So what you're going to do is you're going to take your infuser and you're going to stick it right into your teapot there. And then we're going to take our tea. And you want to do 1 teaspoon per cup. That's the average.
Okay.
So if you like it a little bit stronger, you can add a little bit more. If you don't like it as strong, do a little bit less. But the average is a teaspoon per cup. So I have 3.5 teaspoons in here, since this is a 28-ounce teapot. So we're just going to put our leaves in there. Because it's a black tea, we went ahead and we boiled our water.
So water's ready to go?
Yeah, water is all ready to go in our electric tea kettle. So then we're just going to pour the hot water into the tea pot there.
Carefully, of course.
Yes. Don't want to get burnt. Okay.
That's okay.
And we're going to let that steep there. Now, your black teas you want to let steep for 3 to 5 minutes. always check your label to see how long you should steep it. If you steep black tea, especially in green tea, too long, it will start to turn bitter. So the important thing is to stick with the steep time on your bag. And like I said, if you're someone that likes your tea stronger, don't steep it longer, just add extra leaves to it.
Cool.
So we'll go ahead and let this steep for
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes.
Okay, awesome.
Again, with the water heater here, what's really nice about this, you plug it in and you have boiling water like within a minute or two. You don't have to wait for it to heat on the stove forever. But it has a little knob here on the side. And what you do there is it has a white section. And then there's also a little green dot there, and then there's a brown dot the whole way across. So if you're steeping a white tea, just turn it to the white side. If you're steeping a green tea, turn it to the middle of the green.
Oh, that's really cool.
The black tea goes clear to the other end. And it will steep it to the correct temperature for you. Because your green teas and your white teas, you don't want the water to be boiling. So that will heat the water to just the right temperature that you need.
That's awesome. I have an electric kettle at home, and it just boils water.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. That's
so
real
that
fancy.
takes the
That's pretty
guesswork
cool.
out of it.
Awesome. It's for our tea to steep. But while we're doing that, I would like to talk about some things the library has to offer, because that's part of what we're doing. So, first off, we do have DVDs and Blu-rays. So I am highly recommending Dunkirk. Just came out a couple weeks ago. We have it here available for checkout. Our DVDs are $1.50 for 3 days for the new ones. For the older ones, it's $1.50 for a week. So we're a lot better than Redbox. You should check that out. Anyway, Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan film. It has this amazing, extraordinary cast. It's about Dunkirk. I don't want to ruin anything for you, but it's a World War II film that's just a little different. It's not D-Day. It's not the Allied invasion of Germany. It's none of that. It's a different story than I think we're used to, and masterful storytelling. I love films like this. So that's Dunkirk. So I think we still have more time. So then, actually, Michelle, I'm going to ask you about a book you read recently, if you don't mind showing it there.
And that is The Couple Next Door.
Yeah.
I read that just recently. It was very good. It is about a couple. The wife gets a phone call that her husband dies, but then as you read the story, you find out that that's not really the case. Ooh. But it's very suspenseful. It's very interesting, and the ending is unbelievable. Okay. So it's a very good book. I don't want to ruin the ending for you, but it's a great book. I highly recommend that. Awesome,
and we have that available for checkout. And my current recommendation is Star Wars from a Certain Point of View. It is a bunch of you can see all of the authors. Whoops. There and there. If you're into Star Wars like I am, this year is the 40th anniversary of A New Hope. So this book was created, it's a bunch of short stories about different characters and things that happened during the first movie. But what was really neat about it was that the proceeds were donated to, what's it called? First Book. They donated $100,000. They donated all the proceeds to this book, and also 100,000 children's books valued $1 million. And First Book gives books to kids who are underprivileged and don't really have access to reading. So very cool stuff from Lucasfilm. Also a really neat book. All kinds of different. There's a million authors. I think Meg Cabot's one of the bigger ones. For Star Wars fans, Ashley Eckstein, she wrote one, and for just general nerds, Will Wheaton is also on here. So very cool stuff. I'm smelling that tea. Smells real good.
I think we're at the point where we can probably go ahead and try that.
All right, let's do that.
All right, so we're gonna put our tea in there. go.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I will tell you, some people enjoy their tea with cream and sugar. Some people like it with honey. Others just like it straight up.
Mhm.
So there's no right or wrong way, however you enjoy it.
Cool. I enjoy my tea black, so.
Okay.
So cheers.
Cheers to you.
Here we go. I love smelling it.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's smooth.
Yeah, you definitely get the hazelnut and little hints of chocolate.
Just
and
a little
cream
bit
in
of
it.
chocolate, but
Mhm.
yeah.
It's not overpowering.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Mr. Rosen still had a home run with that one.
Yeah, apparently. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Rosenstick, for your awesome.
I mean, one fact that most people don't know is that your black tea, your green tea, your white tea, it is the same tea leaf. A lot of people
okay.
think that it's different teas, that they come from different areas, but it's all the same tea leaf. It's just how they're processed.
Huh.
So your black teas are allowed to ferment, and that's why they're darker like this. They've got the stronger taste to them. They're fully fermented. Whereas your green tea leaves, they're picked and they're dried out, and they're not allowed to ferment at all. That's why they retain the green color, a little bit more of a grassy taste to it. And your white teas, they are just the baby leaves. So you can only pick the white tea leaves about 3 weeks out of the entire year.
Wow.
That's why you'll find your white teas are just a little bit more expensive because they can only be harvested for so many weeks. But that's the difference, is just in the way of when they're picked and whether they're fermented or for how long. It gives you all your different varieties there.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's something I didn't know. And I love drinking tea. So, well, we're probably gonna end filming so I can finish this cup of tea. So, thank you, Michele, for
Thank
being our
you.
first
Thanks.
guest. And tune in probably 2 weeks, and we'll have our next episode. I think with Becky Clore here at the library. So, thanks again. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Ramona flowers, how are you so sweet? Ramona flowers,